what's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. This is Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, bro. Before I get going on today's video, y'all be sure to hit that like button. Put your seatbelt on when you hop in my car, bro. If you come through and view the video, be sure to hit the like button as well. So put your seatbelt on when you hop in the car, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and share the video. I don't call myself the best content creator on YouTube, but I'm consistent and I work hard. And so if you like boxing content on a daily basis, man, this is a spot for you. So be sure to subscribe. And also comment down below. I love to chop it up with y'all and talk boxing, but I can't do it unless you leave a comment, bro. So comment down below so we can chop it up on this boxing, man. And if you want to have me hop on the panel or you want to collaborate with me, you can reach out to me at knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. That email is also for any subscribers that have a certain topic that they want me to cover or a certain video that they like to see me do. You can reach out to me to that email again, and I'll do videos for you, man. We do subscriber requests on this channel. And again, that email is knockoutboxing, the number 8, the number 6, at yahoo.com. But let's get into it, bro. It's Monday, start of the week. This is going to be my last video about, stuff that happened last week. We already did our predictions. We got all our predictions right last week. And then we also kind of talked about the recap and how the fighters looked. And we briefly talked about what's next for these fighters moving forward. But I wanted to talk in more detail on Vergil Ortiz a little bit, man, and what I think should be next for him moving forward. Whether or not I believe he has a shot against the top competitors in the division, and things of that nature. So let's start with what I think he should be doing next. In my opinion, I feel like what should be next for him is another top 10 to top 15 welterweight. I believe Maurice Hooker probably top 15 to top 20 welterweight. It was his first time at the weight, but I don't think there are 20 welterweights that are better than Maurice Hooker in the world. So we'll call him like a top 20 welterweight. Now, for Vergil Ortiz to continue his progression and to continue to test himself, he will need to move up and fight, tougher competition, obviously, man. So what I think should be next is somebody in the top 10 to top 15. You know what I mean? And the names that come to mind right off the bat for me, somebody like a Mean Machine. The guy, Calvinakis, that lost to Terrence Crawford, but put on a good fight against Terrence Crawford, hurt him, dropped him. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford got back up and stopped him eventually. But he can fight, bro. He's a tough dude. He can fight. His only loss is to Terrence Crawford, and then he does have a draw on his record. But other than that, he's beat everybody he's been in the ring with, and he's definitely legitimately a top 10, top 15 welterweight, bro. And so that's the type of fighter that I think will test Vergil Ortiz, answer some more questions that we have of Vergil Ortiz, and be a really good, another step in the right direction, another step of fight to kind of get towards fighting top fighters. Also on the list for me, somebody like a Jesse Vargas, I think will be a good fight for him. Again, to test him. And Jesse Vargas is at minimum a top 15 welterweight right now, so I think that'll be good for him. And we'll definitely again answer some more questions that we have for Vergil Ortiz. Is he ready for the top dogs? And let's talk about that now. Those are my two opponents that I would like to see him fight, bro. Just off the top of my head, Jesse Vargas or Mean Machine. Also, let's talk about what we think he can do against the top dogs. And by top dogs, I'm thinking of the Errol Spences and the Terrence Bud Crawfords of the world. I don't think he can beat either one of them. I think he has a better shot of beating Terrence Crawford if they were to fight. Because the holes that I think are in Terrence Crawford, Vergil Ortiz, they match his strengths. I think Terrence Crawford doesn't like being hit to the body. I think Terrence Crawford has his feet have not been as good as they were when he was in the lower weight classes. And obviously that comes with age, man. He's like 33, 34 years old now. And so he stands and fights and doesn't box from a distance as much as he used to. He doesn't. But don't make a mistake about it. That power is real. That counter-punching ability is real. That timing is impeccable. That ring IQ is real. Terrence Crawford is a monster, so he will be a problem for Vergil Ortiz. I ain't saying I would pick Vergil Ortiz to beat him, right? I think Terrence Crawford beats him. I had it a 65-35 in Terrence Crawford favor, but the homie BFTB Boxing, if you watching, bro, shout out to you. He made some compelling arguments that have made me take that down to 60-40. He had me take it all the way down to 57-43, but I thought about it some more, and now I will favor Terrence Crawford in the fight with Vergil Ortiz, like 60-40, bro. But Vergil Ortiz can do some things in that fight that would really cause Terrence Crawford some issues if they were to ever fight. He is an extremely aggressive fighter that will keep the pressure on Terrence Crawford, that will try to back him up. He hits very well to the body, and everything he throws is with bad intentions, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford, for as great as he is, he does like to get into firefights. You know what I'm saying? If you catch him, which he's there to be hit, if you hit him, he's going to try to immediately hit you back, and it can turn into a war. Some of the same things that Vergil Ortiz was able to do to Maurice Hooker, make him fight, make him stay on the inside and fight with him and bang it out with him. He could force Terrence Crawford to do some of the same things. I think the difference is Terrence Crawford obviously hits harder than Maurice Hooker. He's more skilled than Maurice Hooker. And he's just a better, obviously, all-around fighter than Maurice Hooker. So some of the things that Vergil Ortiz was able to get away with Maurice Hooker, I don't see him getting away with it with Terrence Crawford. And so while I would favor Terrence Crawford in that fight, Vergil Ortiz will have a better chance of beating Terrence Crawford than he would with Errol Spence. And the reason I say that is because going to the next matchup with Errol Spence, to me, Errol Spence has a better jab than Terrence Crawford. To me, Errol Spence fights better defensively than Terrence Crawford. And at this point in their careers, he's more athletic. He uses his feet better. You know, he showed that in the Danny Garcia fight. He showed that in the Mikey Garcia fight. So I think he'd be able to keep Vergil Ortiz at a distance far better than Terrence Crawford would. And Errol Spence is more disciplined in the ring than Terrence Crawford, to me. And what I mean by that is Terrence Crawford, if you try to get him in a firefight, he'll do that with you. He'll bang it out with you. He'll do whatever you want to do. He's going to try to hit you back, and he'll turn it into a war with you. Whereas Errol Spence, he's going to stay defensively responsible. He's going to use his jab if he needs to. If you want to fight inside, he can do that too. He's just more versatile, in my opinion. And I think that's what will give Vergil Ortiz problems. And he goes to the body just as well, if not better, than someone like a Vergil Ortiz. And so I think that will give Vergil Ortiz more problem than Terrence Crawford style. And so while I want to see Vergil Ortiz step up, just overall, I don't think he's ready for the likes of Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. If I had to pick one of who I think will be a better fight, who he would have a better chance against, I'd like to see him fight Terrence Crawford. I think he would have a shot in that fight. I'd still probably pick, not probably, I still pick Terrence Crawford to win that fight. But to me, that fight is 60-40. And then to me, him and Errol Spence, I think Errol Spence washes him, bro. I think he washes him. I think he just overwhelms Vergil Ortiz. That jab is too educated. His textbook defense, he parries punches too well. He takes advantages of opponents' mistakes, and he can do whatever Vergil Ortiz wants to do. He can keep Vergil Ortiz at a distance and box him. He's the far better boxer. He can bang on the inside with him, throwing body shots, parrying punches, throwing to the head, throwing to the body, throwing hooks to the body, combinations. He's just too far along for somebody like Vergil Ortiz with all those holes that he had. If you think Maurice Hooker touched Vergil Ortiz up and he was able to land stuff on him, Errol Spence is going to do it far better, and I believe he has a better chin than Terrence Crawford, and I believe he's more defensively responsible than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, throughout his career, because he's been so gifted, such a gifted fighter, bro, he has relied on his athleticism. He has relied on things that can't be taught, like time and athleticism, just a brain and a mind for boxing. He's relied on that. But as you get older, that athleticism wanes. He's still got the power, and he's still athletic as hell, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't move the way that he used to move. And so if I'm looking at it from that perspective, and I saw Mean Machine hit Terrence Crawford, I saw Kell Brook boxing well and landing punches on Terrence Crawford before he got stopped. For those first 3 or 4 rounds, it was a good match. Kell Brook was doing well in that fight. Seeing those things lead me to believe that a younger, more athletic, more explosive boxer puncher like Vergil Ortiz would have a shot against Terrence Crawford. But I don't think he beats Terrence Crawford. I don't think he beats for him. So what should be next for him is how we started this video. He needs a top 10 to 15 welterweight first. If he passed that test, which I think he will against somebody like a Mean Machine or Jesse Vargas or someone like that, if he passes a test like that, then maybe we can step up into challenging for a championship if you're Vergil Ortiz. But right now, if he tried to make one of these fights next, if he tried to fight Terrence Crawford next, as he was saying that he wanted to do, if he does something like that, bro, I don't think it's going to end well for him. He would have a shot, but I think Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are just too good for him at this point in his career. He needs to wait. But if he had to pick one of the two, Terrence Crawford is the one you would want to fight. He's the older fighter. He's the one who's lost a little bit in his legs, doesn't move as well at 147 as he did at 140 and 135. And he's the one that I think Vergil Ortiz could force to fight his fight more so than the Errol Spence. But I honestly don't think he should be trying to fight either one of those guys right now in their career. They both beat him. But Vergil Ortiz, very, very good performance. You know, Saturday night, very excited for him. He's right here out of the DFW, so you know we're going to rock with him on this channel. Excited to see what's next for the young man. Highly impressed with what he did, stepping up, taking on a former champion in Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker was a warrior in that fight as well, so props to him. But Vergil Ortiz, keep the momentum going, man. You're building a great resume. You're only 17 fights in. You feel what I'm saying? You're already putting good names on your resume. You're already building yourself up the right way. Your team is moving you the right way. Let's take a step another step in the right direction. Top 10 to 15 welterweight is who you should be seeking out for your next fight. My two names are Jesse Vargas or Mean Machine, but hopefully, you know, you guys can find somebody else in that top 10 to 15 if you can't fight one of those guys. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. The questions that we got on this video: who do you think Vergil Ortiz should be fighting next? And would you give him any shot against the top guys right now if they were his next fight? If he were to fight Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, what do you think would happen in that fight? Those are the questions we need to answer down in the comments. So be sure to comment down below. Chop up this boxing with me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Just put your seatbelt on when you hop in the car, bro. If you come through and view the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and share the video. Also, if you're talking this boxing on YouTube and you want to have me hop on the panel, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email. That's knockoutboxing, the number 8, the number 6 at yahoo.com, bro. And you can also use that email if you're a subscriber and you got a request, man. If there's a certain topic you want me to cover or there's a certain video you want me to do, hit me up on that email. I'll make some subscriber request videos, man. I want to make the videos that y'all like to hear, man. But I won't be able to do that unless you shoot me an email. So be sure to do that. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we out here. Peace.